Today, we're here to discuss Pennsylvania, the medical marijuana industry, but kind of what it looks like and the growth of a cannabis aficionado like yourself. So why don't you actually introduce yourself to the people? Tell them who you are, what you're about, and let's go.
All right. Well, I'm Janine Stokes. I go by Stokes. I've been in the medical marijuana industry since 2016, 2017. Did my little climb up, and I've been everything from a trimmer to a bud tender, and I'm currently one of the main growers at the company that I'm at right now. So yeah.
You know, flowers and
For
shit.
real, man.
Because it's a journey. It really is a journey right now to like get your foot in the door and wiggle your way up the hierarchy of cannabis. Because
Especially
mm-hmm.
especially that. It's so funny because like success is your best revenge. Yeah, but then when you get there, can't you use it now? So like my grandma would always tell me, you're never getting anywhere with your head shaved and those gauges in your ear. And I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Say it again. Did I? Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a climb, but it was a beautiful climb. So I'm still climbing, you know what I'm saying? Until I see there's more people walking around in grow rooms like me, I'm still gonna climb.
Exactly that. So, maybe give us a little background on how the Pennsylvania cannabis industry is organized. It is medical for now, which was established by law in 2016, but it's been a journey since 2016. You hopped in right when it happened. So why don't you tell us your outlook?
So I hopped, skipped, and jumped around, and this is really wild because I don't know if you'll ever hear this story from anybody else. There was literally a prohibition era. I have tons of t-shirts. There used to be this thing. It was called the Philly Smoke Session. Okay. It was this super secret, massive ass smoke session that happened once a month. Mm-hmm. And it was the most beautiful thing. It was the first place I ever had a dab. So I had just graduated. I came up to Philly and I knew it. It was something rumbling and I was like, cannabis. I don't know what it was. It was just something
calling.
It was just going. And I said, all right, before I even go there, I'm going to find the people, just following hashtags on Instagram and just following this person and that person's following that person. And then I came across the Philly Smoke Sessions. Mm-hmm. And so I actually was like, hey, do you need any volunteers? That started like an 8-month stint of every month I would go to the Philly Smoke Sessions, and it was amazing. And I was volunteering, and you would pay $30 at the door, and you would go in, and it was just, oh my COVID. There were just dab stations.
Wow.
You would just freely dab because you paid your $30 admission. It was like, if you would have thought about alcohol prohibition and how they was chilling and they knew they was, if they got caught, they was fucked, but they gonna try it anyway. That shit was mind blowing. So we were elbow with a little community center owner or somebody that had a venue, and we would rent it out, whatever, and then we would have musicians, we would have DJs. It was like Christmas, it was just literally the best. And you would just look across 200, 300 people and it'd be silent because everybody be so fucking high.
Hell yeah. that's the smoke event.
And then it was crazy because it was real underground. If you didn't know about it, you didn't know about it.
Yeah.
If I could do it 1,000 times over, I would. And have it be little low underground type of legal shit, because that's what made it fun. Yeah, and you saw all your homies, and 2 of my best friends I've made from those smoke sessions. 3 actually, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, I'm thankful for it because it was my door. I didn't know what a dab was. I didn't know what a rig was. I didn't know what who. I just knew weed. But now I'm pendies and glass and just this whole new world. Yep. It was weed 101 if I'm trying to do what the fuck I'm about to do, which I didn't even know at the point that's what I was about to do. But that literally was just my gateway drug to realizing what? Edibles? Huh? It was just crazy. So
question, sorry to interrupt. But does the medical, the industry don't have those kind of events? I mean, obviously pre-COVID, But y'all don't like, because out here, the rec industry, at least Washington, it was set up like that. So we have events where we just smoke sesh. So y'all don't do that out there?
Here's what happened. I moved to Cali. I needed to figure out what I wanted to do. My last smoke sesh with them was October. Mm-hmm. Their last smoke sesh ever was November. They got popped. And that scared everyone. So there was no more of that. They came in, they took everything. Rigs, weed, money, everything that they could take, they took, and you were not getting that back. And everybody was getting charges. Everybody charges. You get a charge, you get a charge, you get a charge. Everyone. That stopped that.
But this is legal, you know what I mean?
It's medically legal and decriminalized.
I feel like there are workarounds.
Yes, there are workarounds, but like that was a big pop. Like that
I feel you, but that's why they do those, so that everyone gets scared and it eases up. I don't understand why when you are selling it in a store now. You know what I mean? Why now would you still criminalize it? That's the problem. They are double fisting the industry where we're going to make money, a lot of money off of taxing you, but then we are going to criminalize everything else. And I don't know if people have paid attention of the uptick of criminalization and people getting popped for cannabis right now. It's kind of like what followed the end of prohibition of alcohol. So the alcohol industry was coming. We want to, all these intermediate people, wipe them out, criminalize them. And then the legal industry, which is folks with the money and who have a business set up to benefit from the legalization of alcohol, is now in place. And that's why they're still chasing people down and shutting down home brews and distilleries and moonshine to this day. Till this day.
No, exactly. And honestly, it's just, like I said, it's funny to have seen it like just morph into what it is because everybody's still scared. But then even to go into the next point, there's been a few things here and there, but how many things can you have? They've tried it. They really did. It ain't the same. You're not going to sit here and tell me that all we're going to do is dab back and forth at each other.
I could
the second dab, I'm gone, bro.
I could do it in my house.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So they tried to have the little medically legal bars and cafes and shit. It just won't work. Don't nobody want that. That's not fun.
No.
And then what? You're gonna combust? No, you're not. They tried a little outside thing. Shut down. I don't care if y'all have medical cards. You're combusting.
Let's go there. Okay, so PA medical marijuana laws, when they initially rolled it out in 2016, said it wouldn't start till when? 2018. And when it did start, they outlawed edibles and smoking dry herb, like combustion. So you could get tinctures, you could get RSOs. What else could you get? Could you get concentrates?
Distillate syringes, concentrates.
Just a few other things. Yeah. But you couldn't smoke out in public.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. Yeah.
So it's decriminalized. So any type of possession, whether you're smoking it, whether whatever, it's $25. I've only ever seen somebody say put it out, but like it's a nuisance to cops, and that's another thing I've also seen being so close. Like I've been at these Philly smoke sessions, and I've like, okay, one was like right down the street from me, so okay, I drove, all right, and I was very happy that day when I drove, and the police officer literally directed me out of my spot.
Oh, convenient.
You hear me? They don't give a fuck. They don't want to give a fuck if they do. They really don't. They really are annoyed. The only reason
why does it exist?
Happened was some political shit with one of the main organizers. He was already a target, and it was only a matter of when they decided they was going to do it and how many people they can get so they could do what they needed to do. You feel me? So they could have popped them weeks ago. or months before, but there was a
They want to make a
change.
statement. They want to make a statement. And it's so
that's
petty.
What happens. It's what happens when you're going to put your face on it and your face is abrasive. Mm-hmm. Know that you're going to rough something up. Know that you're going to piss somebody off with power. And if you know that you're going to piss somebody off with power, you must know what's going to come next. It's on every damn show fucking streaming. If you know you're going to piss the people off and
protect yourself.
Yeah, it was a good run. It was an amazing run, but it gets political. And especially Philly is such a big little town.
But people don't understand that. They think cannabis is just like cool, but every time you light a joint, it's political. It's a political statement. And that's why I preach the intentional use of cannabis, because you have to understand what you're doing. You ain't just getting high. You ain't just getting high.
No, you're medicating, my boy. You are definitely medicating.
You're speaking against years of criminalization, of systematic oppression every time. And so I just...
I feel that, you know what I'm saying? Stoners know that. That's why I love millennials. I love being a millennial, but they say they talk mad shit. Millennials will change the world when they're ready to. And when the stoner millennials is about to change the world, it takes a little bit longer. So that is it. And that's like the thing, like sometimes I'm so grateful to the point where I get sick that I'm literally been entrusted to do this thing. I hear echoes of my ancestors that literally tried to make it here. One of the things I always would say is, I never knew a Black person that owned a vineyard, but I guarantee as fuck it's gonna be a lot of Black people that's gonna own some goddamn greenhouses, some goddamn farms up in this bitch, and I'm gonna be one of them. You feel me?
If I got something to say about it.
Shit, you know what I'm saying?
And I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say.
So like you're right. Like lighting this joint, like every time I smoke the weed that I grow, I'm like just enthralled with like pure humility because I think about it and I know every step, like every what happened to get here, and it started with a brown foot. You feel me? So like it's touching something generational. It's scary. I'm not gonna say it ain't scary though.
It's heavy.
Like I feel them looking at me, but I feel them moving me too.
It's heavy, especially when you're in shark-infested waters.
Ooh, how do you be still in shark-infested waters?
How? You breathe.
You breathe and you stay grounded, and that's what it is. Like this climb was not shaky. There were times where I was infuriated. There were times where my back was hurting and I saw somebody that didn't want to work and that patient had to get gotten. And what am I going to do? I'm going to do the work because I'm here to work. I'm not going to do the petty shit y'all doing. All right, fine.
I'm not here for it. I just want to help the people.
I just want to help the people. Y'all want to play this little game of like ego and you don't get to tell me what to do? All right. So my ancestors are moving me to move my ass because I came here to do that. So that's why I can sit there and be like, all right, like, come on. Like literally it's real. It's like,
that's just what it is. You have to have,
that's what it is. You have to be in the middle of the sharks and know like they're swimming this close to you and maintain your composure because you have the vision.
Yeah.
You know,
to get where you're going. Yeah. So another question about the PA cannabis industry. So it's run by the Department of Health because it's a medical registry. Website, I would say, is rather easily navigatable. The prices to get a license, because you guys are separated. So you can be the person, the consumer, then you're the grower processor, which seems, I would say that's vertically integrated. And then there's a retailer license, but there are a limited amount of licenses available. So with 25 total, and as of yet, 23 have been allotted. And then some other number on the other side. I'll drop a link to all of their stats because by law, they're required to do an evaluation of the industry and drop it every 2 years. That was one of the initial guidelines with it becoming legal in 2016. So I have the latest one in 2020. I was reading through it. It seemed very interesting, but what looks good on paper led to some difficult times in PA cannabis history. There was a shortage, was there not?
Shortage? No, there was a motherfucking drought, like dry. Like it was so dry in the medical legal market that it was dry, and then every other market. That's how dry it was.
That's real.
I mean, real. And I never heard of any. I mean, I heard Nevada went through it for like a week. Like, nah, this shit lasted like a year. Mm-hmm. Like a straight solid year, if not trickling into a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. And you would think they would legalize home grow at that time for some people.
Why would they do that? Look, here's what happened.
I'm so sorry. Why? Why would they do that?
Even if and when, which it will, when I say 2 years, this is my personal bet on it. I say about 2 years. And that's if it doesn't go federally legal, but that's further down there. Yeah. So here's the thing. We're all sitting there minding our fucking business. Business is good. We got flour on the menu. Flour on the menu was the first time I had been in the dispensary on that end of it. Mm-hmm. I had been in the back of the house, but this is the first time I had gotten, it was closer. It was more money.
Retail.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So during this time, what years?
2017. It was August 2017 that I believe we got flour. Yeah. I was there in May. Yeah. But they didn't have a lot of hours because
shit was weak.
It was yeah, we were selling cartridges.
Why am I coming there for RSO, which is true? It's
and
medicinal.
It was tracked at that point. And then it was like, I mean, honestly, it probably wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then August popped off. Everything was great. We moving and grooving. Yeah. Never even thought about having a shortage of flour. Never even came to mind.
Until they dropped new licenses in 2018. They added more criteria for the medical card. So anxiety and that's what...
Anxiety. If you don't have anxiety... Mm-hmm.
Living in this America.
You must have a couple of O's and a couple of figures in your account then. And even that motherfucker's scared nowadays since motherfuckers hacking shit.
Even if you feel me? If you got this kind of shade, I don't know why you ain't nervous.
It's in your genes at this point.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I'm saying? If we just sitting there minding our own business, then we don't get no flour. And then the flour that we have, we're limiting. We get to the point that people can only have 2/8. Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot to tell you that part. 2/8 per patient.
2/8 per month?
No, per day.
Per day. Okay.
But nigga, you come the next day, guess what?
We ain't got no weed.
Ain't no more flour. Ain't no more flour. But I'm telling you, these motherfuckers sitting at home chilling all day. They might not figure out how to wash their ass, but they will figure out how to get some goddamn more ace. So they would hop. Mm-hmm. They would dispensary hop. Get 2 waves here, get 2 waves there, get 2 waves there, get 2 waves there.
Mm-hmm. And all the week gone.
Gone, man. I'm telling you. It was the grower processors. It wasn't us.
Yeah.
But it wasn't them either because you can't force the plant.
You can't.
You can't say, hey, girls. We got 4,000 more patients in the last month. Can you come on and get some buzz popping? And it did suffer. Mm-hmm. It suffered. Just, mm-hmm. You didn't cure this shit? Mm-hmm. Are you serious?
Yeah. The quality goes down. See, the mass production of cannabis it's very complicated. And that's what people need to understand about creating a national structure. We don't know how. We haven't figured out one system that operates very well because the quality of the plant always suffers.
That was just one of the few things that made me realize there needs to be a different sector. Yeah. Because the Department of Health does not understand cannabis. No. They don't. You know what the limit is? 60 grams a month. Do you know what that includes? Everything.
Why? Wow. Wow.
And you know what? Say I work at Mighty Nelson, right? Mm-hmm. We got the best fucking poppin' buds, cheesy blue cheese buds over here, Mighty Nelson. And you have reached your 60 gram limit here at Mighty Nelson, right? Now, I am not affiliated with Big Bull. I don't know what they got over there. That's their business. I don't know what they're selling over there. I don't know what your limit is over there. They don't know what your limit is over here.
Then why have the limit?
I mean, he's going 60 and he's getting 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 60. But one patient is allowed 60 grams a month.
What's the purpose?
That's how I knew that they didn't understand cannabis.
At all. Because every person needs a different amount to regulate whatever their desire, especially if you are running a medical market. That's something that you should know for fact. My dosage may change, my tolerance may change, I might need different things, and I might need it in different quantities. So why would you set one limit for everyone? If
you can get your limit changed. So every store has to have on-site pharmacists to even be open.
Yeah.
Girl, I should have been getting paid what the pharmacists were getting goddamn paid. And they know it. They know it. Because it's crazy. It's dark. I'm telling you, this shit is wild. It's dark. $36 an hour. I have no idea.
No idea about none of this shit.
And they would just be in their office just chilling.
Because they're not teaching it in the schools, but because they're pharmacists, they eaten. Do you see how they are trying to use cannabis to fund other industries?
They were their per diem. Yeah. So they can still be working in Rite Aid and whatever else that was working before. And wherever else fucking place. If they want to work at another dispensary, boop, boop, just get on their little shit. Shit's crazy. I'm telling you, it's wild. I'm observant as fuck because I didn't even realize I was like paying attention to all this shit. I could probably write a book. I can write a whole lot of books.
But here's the thing. Cannabis touches everything. And if you do not understand the political undertones of what you are asking, if you do not understand the acceptance of the community that is there, if you do not have the financial backing, which is where we are shut out of, to get that license, the application fee is $10,000. If you get it, it's $200,000.
$200,000.
When people like Jay-Z hop into the industry and say they're going to give money to Black people, but they work with, I need to understand how the money flows and tickers down and helps people like that. Do they even understand that they could just help someone rise up to that level and make a difference in the industry and open up avenues for others?
Why would they do that? That's too much of where do I get money from though? I need some passive from this.
But to me, it just, I'm going to dive into this in the Canna Culture vlog. To me, it's just seeming like they already placed their bets not on Black. And that's why I named the second episode of Functional Potheads, because I'm betting on Black. The cannabis industry is nowhere near settled. Like it's not outlined. One little thing could make these industries fold. And even in Washington, I've seen this pandemic, or just legal changes crush a company, crush a brand, and make them restart just because they took away how you can have candy presented. So I just want you to know that nothing is settled, but you are hopping into a market with folks that claim that it's settled because they've done it. So they've done it. So they got it. It's because they have the capital to get into it now. But they could still fold right now. Honestly, nothing is finalized.
And honestly, let me tell you something. Yeah. From the moment that I laid my eyes on this industry, from the things that I've seen from here to Florida to fucking Cali to back to here, I need to go to Colorado. I've heard that they have really, really great bud out there. I just literally, as a Gemini, just seeing the possibilities. We haven't even gotten to the point of seeing the possibilities. That's how far away. And the thing is, people keep on thinking that they got their stick. Oh, I made it. I thought this thing. You know how many things I done seen that dropped and popped up and then dropped in and then popped up and then dropped in. The only thing that nobody can do shit without is the bud. That's it.
And not only the bud, but love of the bud. These legislators cannot regulate effectively because they don't understand the plant. And until they communicate with people who understand the plant and love the plant in that manner and push the culture in the right direction, they're going to continue to fail. You don't understand cannabis, even if you read a report on it. You don't get it.
It's ridiculous. You know what's funny? I'm very empathic, right? And so, like, I worked in Jersey too, and you know, their shit was all right. They did a lot of shit that was weird. As when I look at different
weird shit right now,
you know what I'm saying? But then, like, I hear how the patients speak about their bud, and I paid attention how people speak about the bud when I was a bud tender here, and I hear about how they talk about my bud, the bud that we grow. And it's fucking weird because I love this shit. And I'm very like lucky that the people that I work with, I feel like if they didn't love it, they're gonna love it or they're loving it. But like I put all my energy into every one of those rooms. Every time I step in that door, that energy is there. And I was even told it in my performance review. Like I bring that loving energy. One day I come in, this lady's got about 15, 16 fucking jars of my shit, right? And I'm coming back maybe another week later, and she just happened to come in the same time and get the same shit.
Yeah.
You only do that for a company that you feel the love in that shit. When I smoke that shit, like I feel it back. Like I'm like, if people are feeling this, they know that we love them. Anytime I catch a patient that has already had my bud, it literally lights me up. So the thing that you have to remember that above the like all the corporate shit, it'll never win. That's the one thing in 4 years that it's the bud is always gonna win. It's always gonna win. You're gonna always bow down to it, whether it's willingly, whether it's involuntarily. Like you are always gonna bow down to it because the culture of it, the people like you, the people like me that feel the love down to our loins, through our feet, and down to our fucking roots. We don't stand for shit like that, and that's what cannabis is. You can't sexualize cannabis. You can't do it. You can't make her your slut. You just literally can't, because we see that. Don't you feel that when you see that shit? Yeah. Don't you be like, I don't fuck with them. I don't. You know what I'm saying? You know what you? It's that intrinsic thing that you have, that you are connected with the bud, with the flower, to know, you know, that shit ain't real. And like. Yeah. It was funny. There was one company, horrible ass company. Not horrible. They're trying to do better. I don't know. I don't like the company. I have my opinions. I think they're trash. I thought they were trash before I was growing shit. I think they're trash now.
She said what she said.
They just never get better. They only change shit up. And when they first came out on the market, in the PA market, they pissed PA off because they were just doing just horrible product. And like on their Instagram, they posted the PA MMJ program is a privilege, not a right. And do you think that PA didn't fucking boycott them motherfuckers? And as a total unit, it was like one of those giant pothead things that everybody in the room know, but nobody say. Yeah, like that's what the fuck it was about. Like they were literally like, other than that company, what y'all got? Well, all right.
That's true. We don't want
it. And that is that deep down home rootness. Like capitalism tries, and it's so funny because I see it. I see people try to like sexualize her, and I'm like, it's just not gonna work, bro.
It can happen when it goes retail. The markets that went retail experience that dysfunction.
Those are users, though. Those are users. You feel me? I'm a cannabis enthusiast. I'm a cannabis medicator. I'm a child of cannabis. Those are users.
But they could have this like culture. They could have this spirit. If you taught it.
Taste weed.
Yeah.
What? But it's weed.
Yeah.
You gotta taste it a little bit.
Just a bit.
And that's just the ideology of what capitalism is going to be. It's going to be that to those people. I am going to buy from what? When shit goes down and there's black and brown owning shit around here, cannabis wise, that is legit and that is researched and they're doing their shit in the right way. I'm going to do that. Then like these pixie stick la from Cresco's like, fuck that. Fuck Cresco. Cresco got money. They don't need my money. I'm not saying like they're already company, but I'm going to choose somebody who's local. I'm going to choose when that shit goes down and people are making their products. I feel like that's why it hasn't gotten there, because they haven't figured a way out how to do it. And I'm saying just research, baby boy. Just do it. Just put the money into the research so you can make some fucking money, okay? Because nobody's going to buy your shit. Yeah. Or they're going to buy your shit and they're going to get tired of your shit and they're going to want, oh my God, organic.
Question. What's your favorite stage of cultivation?
That is a really intrinsic fucking farmer-ass question that I ask myself often. I don't know if I have an answer quite for you, but I can explain. Propagation, right? Like, it's cute. Propagation from cloning is cute. I don't really care about them until I know they have roots.
Real.
Because, same with people. Like, I'm not trying to get attached. I done had my heart broken too many fucking times by these goddamn flowers. Once I see a root, I'm like, all right, you're my baby. And then I like flowering because, like, it's very, very stressful. But, like, it's, like, good because I'm learning a lot, but, like, it is very stressful. Because flowering, anything can happen in flowering. Anything. Herms, males, deficiencies, funguses, bacterias, anything. And, you know, it's just like, no, you gotta make flowers. You gotta put all your energy into flowers.
So now you're trying to protect the babies from everything. Like, no.
And it's so weird because it becomes like really like carnal, because like at the beginning you're like, oh, my sweet babies. Oh. And then harvest day, you're like, harvest day.
Off with your heads.
You're like, get the fuck out here.
I'm so glad I asked that question.
Wait, no. My favorite, no. That isn't even my favorite. We just did my favorite again, and I forgot that it was my favorite because we don't do it very often. Dropping fucking seeds is my fucking favorite. They are so cute. So there's the propagation that I was talking about earlier. It's a clone propagation where you basically take cuttings from mother plants and you propagate those until they get roots, and then they eventually become teens and flowering plants. The propagation that I'm in love with is when you take seeds and you drop them and you let them grow from scratch. Yeah, that's my favorite because they're cute as shit. Yeah. They're just so cute. They're just like, they got their little leaves and like, they just get big. Like, I've seen them before. When I was in Cali, I saw like the little seeded plant and like the way that the stalks, it looked like fucking Jurassic Park. Like, it was just beautiful. And I'm not going to say that I don't like clones, but like, it's just something about a seeded plant that's it's just.
Okay. You got any tips for a first-time grower?
Seek knowledge every day as a person, if you can, if you have the capacity, the energy. But the thing is, like, there's something to learn every day about every part of it. So, like, one thing that I was talking to one of my coworkers who he's worked on a grow too, and he's done a little bit of growing. I was like, that's crazy because, like, I know how to do plumbing and I had shit kind of knowledge with the fuck valves and all that submersible pumps and all that shit is. And he was like, yeah, you're a farmer now. And I was like, what? He was like, a farmer kind of has to have like many
knowledge of everything.
Yeah. Like, and like, I was like, yeah, the only thing that I think that I haven't gotten really, which kind of freaks me out, is like the electricity part, the HVAC part. I don't know if I care that much to know about it because that is a company and they service it. And I just The electricity part, though, I do want to know more. And like, you know, just like learning how everything operates as a total. The plant, you're going to learn about her along the way. You're going to, because this strain, you go have this strain down pat, you know how she is, and then plot a new strain pops up, and now this strain is completely, she hates water, loves air, hates sun, like all this random shit. You know what I'm saying? So like you literally have to be very flexible, know that nobody was born a farmer, and every day seek knowledge about your environment, seek knowledge about the plant, seek knowledge about how you want to expand as a farmer. Mm-hmm. You know, like, what do you really see yourself? A farmer is a patient, persistent person. You have to be patient with something that happens quickly, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you know, if it's something that you really see yourself doing, like, try to think about how you're going to incorporate that into your life and make that your lifelong thing. If it's something that you want to do, like, go for it, stick with it, and like, know, like, there's a lot to be had to be in this position if you can get here. All you gotta do is just fucking pump, fucking grind to it. And stick your face in the shit.
Thank you for that solid advice. I think last summer I practiced with growing outdoors, and I saw how evil Washington can be and how stressful that was.
Is hemp legal out there?
Hemp?
It's federally legal. Practice on a hemp plant. That's what I tell people. Practice on a hemp plant. There's so many different strains of hemp, just like there are of regular cannabis.
Accurate.
That you can just practice on that, and it's cheap. So boom, you're not really like, the only thing that you're really paying for is like maybe nutrients and like your lighting system and what have you. But other than that, it's federally legal. It's cheap. If you fuck up, all right, you fucked up a hemp plant. If you don't, you got some little CBD, make some little CBD hash, CBD cookies, lozenges, whatever.
I'm with it. Listen, that is a great set of advice for you right there. And I'm definitely going to take you up on that, because if I hurt my baby, I would be upset. And right now, Washington is considering allowing home grow, like it's going through that. So if that's the case, I do want to take it in my hands.
And like, why not? Like the things that I've heard and seen, I'm just like, no.
Who are you supporting? Which company? Why do you like them? You know, like the weed's great, but are you sure? Always do your research. It's your health at the end of the day.
There must be ethics. And that is the thing, that when you go to your weed man, thou shalt let them know if they have shorted thee, and the weed man shall reimburse thee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like there's the vows, the code. Yeah, bro.
The code. That's why I'm so in love. And that's why I know it's fucking sustainable. It's just a matter of whether people want to do it.
Yeah.
It can be done.
I need a rapper to do the 10 weed commandments, you know what I mean? Right. And I have the perfect person in mind. Like, I feel like she's already done it. I'm gonna look up Gifted Gab. It's so lit. If you ever heard her, she's a Seattle native, but bars. She might have done it in an older track, but if not, weed commandments needs to be done. Someone crush it.
For real, man. But like, it's so crazy because what other community do you truly know that literally no matter where you go, it's what do you know, puff puff pass. Okay, who sparks the blunt?
The person that rolled it.
Okay, you get what I'm fucking saying?
We've never discussed that conversation before. No, we don't discuss that. Why?
That's the type of shit. That's how like we as millennials need to raise that and bring it and get our asses up into that corporate shit and be like, nah, we taking over this shit. Ain't gonna be all that.
Yeah. Question. We touched on it a little bit earlier. Final question for you. What's your take on cannabis stocks right now?
I just think they're silly. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but I just think they're silly. I just think they're make-believe.
Yeah. Foolish.
Maybe later they won't be, but I just cannot help but crack up because where? How? What made you say that?
How's that a thing? It's not even legal. We don't have a national transport log, like a national database. Like what server would host a national database for the registry of medical if it was? And then if not,
banks don't even like recognize our money. Like shut up. Cannabis stocks them though. And I like sometimes like I like go along with it and like I look at it and I look at what they're saying. And I promise you that I've never seen one top cannabis site list that had the same fucking cannabis companies. They was all different. Like I'm talking about statewide motherfuckers. They're not gonna let you have any share in it because the motherfuckers that are already making a plenty amount of money, they don't need you to have the little cuts in it. So that's what I'm saying. Like cannabis, what?
Have you looked at the global cannabis index? It's been tracking it since it became a thing, since they hopped on just to look at the data. I think that would be a good source, and we talk about it in the blog I dropped on stocks.
Yeah.
If you just want to pay attention to what it's doing, you can just log on and see how it's just like, it was like cool, and then it's like, and then one little legislative thing happens and it goes, meep. But it's usually the most underperforming shit in your portfolio.
I ain't never even seen that shit, and I knew that.
Yeah, I get it if you want to hedge on the bets long term, but I think your bets should be placed on actually funding people in the industry and policies and pushing things to get that change, because the industry will never thrive until that happens. So you can't just be like, oh, I want to spend my money on it and not give a fuck about what the people on the ground are doing to make it happen. You know what I mean? Or wanting to support your fellow man that's interested.
Exactly. And that's where you're investing.
Yeah.
Putting your money in cannabis stock is not investing. Invest in your education of cannabis. Yeah. Invest in maybe starting a nonprofit. Let me tell you something. I do pay attention. Yeah. Because the company that I left was a shitty company and did not care about the people. Shitty infrastructure, horrible, no HR, no nada. Okay. Just keep opening up stores. You think I'm a fucking fool because you got your hand on somebody's dick and somebody's ass who told you that this shit is about to fucking go legal? Yeah. There's no way that you would have that many medical stores. Cannabis stocks, no. This shit is about to go legal. And once this shit go legal, then it's even stupider to do cannabis stocks. Yeah. Put the money on me. Put it on your damn self. Put it on your friend that you know is interested in it. Say, look, I'll pay you. If you're really into it, I'll put money up for you to get educated and da-da-da-da-da. Like, put the money on you. Bet on yourself. Bet on Black. Because I'm telling you, it's not in them stock markets. Those are so silly.
And we're specifically talking about cannabis stocks, but
cannabis stock
markets, because it's not an established industry. It's not an established industry. It's not settled. You know what I mean? We understand that, playing the stock market is hedging on the future outcome of a company, but we don't even have an industry established. So how can you have an outcome of a company without an industry? So why don't you work to establish the industry and establish it the right way so that it isn't like all of the other industries established before, led by and fueled by white supremacy.
Okay.
All right, dude. I appreciate you coming on the show and being a guest on Functional Potheads. I love having powerful guests that haven't gotten a chance to speak their experience, and definitely Black guests. You know what I mean? I love my people, but like we just need to work on getting our message out there in a streamlined and collective manner, which is why I work with the brands and the people that I do, because like more people like yourself who truly care about the plant, needs to go far. So free to plant, free to people.
And I don't want to be by myself up in here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not it. It's lonely, bro.
They say like Black people don't like to help each other. Like, nah, we just got some healing to do before we can be vulnerable enough so that we can help each other. So I'm
vulnerable. Judas and the Messiah. Watch Judas and the Black Messiah and understand why there is some fear. And you have to really understand where you're coming from before, like any other relationship. Make sure that you have the right foundation, you know what I mean, by establishing that bond.
It's about being aware.
Yeah. It's been a good one. Love chatting with you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions? Like, send them my way. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I seek knowledge, not to keep it. You feel me?
Yep, and we out.